Want to make smart bets this football season? Download the BetQL app that gives you the best bet recommendation on prop bets, sharp data so you could see who the pros are backing, check the leaderboards, breaking news, and injury updates. Head to the App Store or Google Play Store to download BetQL. You can also head to try.betql.co/Joey to get started now. Enter the discount code Joey at payment checkout for 25% of any of their subscription offerings. You can find all this information in the description of this video. Make sure to check out the BetMGM offer in the description in order to receive a free year of BetQL. Also, check out their sportsbook offers page if you live in one of the eligible states to claim free offers upon signing up at one of the many sportsbook listed. Don't miss out on the chance to beat your sportsbook this football season. Once again, thank you for our sponsor, BetQL, the only app you'll need to beat your sportsbook. Find their information along with 25% off in the discount code in the description of this video. And also check out the special BetMGM offer in the description in order to receive a free year of BetQL and other sportsbook sign-up offer and bonuses. Hey, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Joey Shakes. Coming to you guys with a live stream today. I was going to go live today because, obviously, I want to talk about the Giants. I want to talk about the other games, obviously, that happened today. I was watching some of the watching Miami lose today was nice in overtime. Thank God. I didn't want that game to end in a tie as of right now, so I thought that was pretty cool. Carson Wentz, another loss for the Colts. Tennessee came in and did a good job. Both teams struggled a little bit, but Tennessee did a good job in that game. And then obviously watching the Giants and how they couldn't really score inside the 20, how they couldn't convert. Their offense just choked. Ingram fumbled the football. Just not good. I think Adoree Jackson could have pretty much cemented that game if he didn't miss that pick in the end zone. So Giants lose against the Falcons. I didn't think they were going to lose. I really didn't. The Falcons looked a little bit better. Kyle Pitts didn't really I don't think Kyle Pitts had his first catch until the fourth quarter. Calvin Ridley, an okay day. Not great, but an okay day. They had to run the ball. Cordell Patterson did a good job running the football as well. Mike Davis, I think, ended up getting hurt in the game just a little bit, but I thought they ran down their throats pretty well and had the passes come when they had to. I thought they did a good job. I thought it was a good day. There's some of these guys. So, and obviously talking about Washington, I didn't watch much of it. I tried switching back and forth, but I didn't think Washington was going to beat the Bills today at all. I'm not surprised over the score. 21-43, and obviously the Giants lose 14-17 with really they just choked. Well, once again, and everyone told us that the Eagles were playing the Falcons, and we won against a horrible team, but they kept that game even closer. You know what I mean? So. We have, everything kind of went in our direction today. Two NFC East teams lose today. And on top of everything else, you have the Cowboys Monday night. So it's going to be interesting to see where this goes and just see what happens. So just want to talk to you guys. You know what? It is what it is. We'll see what happens. But appreciate everybody being in here. Much love to everybody that's showing up. That showed up to the stream last night. We had a good time. The Philly Shakedown podcast, so much love to everybody. Kevin Sauce, what's going on, bro? Hope you're having a good day. We have Dragonfire in the building. RH Gaming Vlogs, what's going on, man? Daily Philly, what's going on, bro? We have Ron Yancey. How's your night, Joey? Good to see you. Yeah, you too, bro. I mean, I can't see you, but good day. Eagle Slayer, what's going on, bro? Dilly Philly says Giants stink. Reaper Town 22 says couldn't beat the Falcons. That was kind of. I mean, I'm actually shocked. I had the Giants winning this game. I really did. I had them winning this game. I figured, what? They're 0-2. Usually these teams that they're 0-2, like they come into a game and they're like, yeah, we need to get this going. They're pumped up. They're fired up for a win. And they're home. I mean, they just retired Eli Manning's jersey today. Okay? They just retired Eli Manning's jersey today. All right, they had the ceremony and stuff. Like I figured, this was going to be a big day for the Giants. They're home and all that stuff. It's great. It looks fantastic, and it just doesn't happen. It just didn't happen. Pass rush for Washington wasn't great. The quarterback's not great in Heineke. I don't think he's good at all. I mean, I think he'd be a nice solid backup for a team that could take over a game or two, but really at the end of the day, I don't think he's going to do much against more, competitive teams. I really don't. And I knew the Bills are a Super Bowl contending team. Okay. Super Bowl contending team. The Falcons, we got laughed at for just beating the Falcons, that it was only the Falcons. This is the most overrated team I've ever seen in my life. See, with the Eagles, we have low expectations, okay? We want to set the bar high, The world hasn't set the bar high for the Eagles, okay? And that's just the truth of it. But we have low expectations. Like, if anything successful happens with this team this year, great. But when it comes down to it, guys, this was, we got laughed at for beating the Falcons. How we dropped 32 points on them, I have no idea. I mean, we didn't even throw any deep passes in that game. Okay? We ran the ball pretty well. I mean, they ran down our throats. It was back and forth. We shut down Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts didn't have a catch in this Giants game till the fourth quarter. And then they started passing the ball to him a little bit more. I don't know what they're doing with Kyle Pitts. I really don't. Like, yeah, he gets separation. He's a big body. Like, I think he could just do so much more. They don't really use him the right way. Kind of annoys me in some way. You know what I mean? Kind of annoys me a little bit. But it is what it is. Talk about Washington and their run game and even their corners. Their corners are so suspect this year. The secondary is bad. And it's like, I feel like, with their defensive line, it's kind of like us. Like, they have all the talent in the defensive line, but they just can't get pressure. And if they do, nothing really goes their way when it happens. You know what I mean? So there's a lot that goes back and forth with both of these teams. Like, I really think it's between the Eagles and the Cowboys right now. I mean, this really depends on Nick Sirianni tomorrow night and how he changes his game plan. Jalen Hurts and Nick have to be perfect tomorrow. I mean, that's just what it is. They have to be perfect, because if they're not, it's not going to work out. If you're not doing the right play calling, it's not going to work. Even when Quez Watkins got that big catch in the second quarter, go down to the 2-yard line, get a false start penalty, two plays that equal 2 yards, 1 yard apiece, and then you go on fourth down. Obviously, they had a shovel pass that would have been a touchdown, but it was too late. So Hurts struggled. But we all got to realize that this is only Hurts' sixth start. I mean, really at the end of the day, it's his sixth start. That's the truth to it. You know what I mean? Hasn't even played a half a season yet. That's why I kind of get a little crazy, but, it is what it is. Ron says the Kansas lose day. They lost. Yeah, they lost against the Chargers. Good for Herbert, man. Good for him. Brock Bauer says, wild day of football today. That's definite. Dilly Philly says, it's just the Falcons. Right, that's what we've been hearing all the time. Matt Weeks, what's going on, bro? Hope you're having a good night tonight. RH Gaming Vlog says, yo, Colts lose, Wentz play the entire game, win-win. Yeah, no, I mean, look, we need the Colts to win a couple games, because I'm telling you right now, they're going to bench Wentz. It's going to happen sooner or later, because they're already 0-3 now. All right, I don't know who they have next week. We kind of already knew that the first 6-7 games on the Colts schedule was pretty tough. In the beginning as of right now. So, it's kind of nuts. We got Turntable Ted with a super chat. Appreciate it very much, man. He says, interesting to see how other teams play against teams we played already. The Niners-Pack game looks close. Makes me think the Eagles have a bright future. I think the Eagles could have won that game. The Eagles could have won that San Francisco game. I mean, really, they could have won. They didn't take advantage of the opportunities they had. I mean, you had a receiver and Rager that goes out of bounds. You passed 3 times to your tight ends. Guys. And this is what Nick likes. He likes his tight ends. Both your running backs and Kenneth Gainwell and Miles Sanders had less rushing yards than your quarterback. You didn't even have 15 carries for Miles Sanders. 3 of your starting linebackers had double-digit tackles. Your defensive line only played well for 1 quarter. I mean, they were held, guys. The 49ers were held. So we didn't get destroyed by the 49ers, but we missed opportunity. Not going for field goals when we should have. He's been going for fourth down already 3 times. I thought Doug Peterson was on the field. Okay. The defensive scheme, Josh Sweat barely played any reps. He just gave him a 3-year extension. Okay? There's issues. There's issues with substitution. There's issues with how they're moving guys around. I don't know what they're doing. Milton Williams, where's he at? Fletcher Cox, where are you at? Derek Barnett's just getting penalty after penalty the past few games. Even every year he's doing the same thing. Derek Barnett gets these unsportsmanlike penalties all the time, and it's starting to really – I would have benched him this week to give more reps to Kerrigan, more reps, obviously, to Josh Sweat, which you just gave a contract that barely had any snaps in this game. Josh Sweat barely played in that game against the 49ers. Why he's on 3rd and short, you're having trouble getting short yardage. You're still not bringing Jordan Howard up to the active roster. I don't get it. I don't get why you're not doing that. What's the problem? What's the issue? Boston Scott has an illness right now. He's questionable for Sunday, but he's not going to be dressing. Does he dress for the games? I don't even know at this point. Okay? There's a lot to really take from. There's a lot to take from the situation that we're in right now. You know what I mean? I think, this NFC East is bad. I mean, it's all around bad. Okay, so what teams are pumping their chest? Look, I'm excited about this team. I'm excited about the future of this team. I can't wait. I think this week was the perfect week to complete this week. Okay, to complete this week, the Eagles need to win Monday. They have to. If they win Monday, they're in the lead. They're leading the division for now. Because if they don't win this game tomorrow night, it's going to be a lot of issues. Because you can go on a losing streak roll. I mean, you never know. I mean, look. The Chargers, beat KC. I mean, KC comes to the link. I think they come to the link next week at 1:00. And, it's going to be tough. You got KC. You got the Panthers that are playing really well right now. Sam Darnold lighting it up, doing a good job. McCaffrey's out. J.C. Horn is out for the year. We're just going to have to find out. But I really do like, the Eagles going to this game. I think they're going to be excited. It's going to they were talked about this rivalry, and guys, there's a lot of young guys on this team. Like this is a very young team this year. It's not a team with a lot of vets anymore. And next year in 2022, this team is only going to get younger. Okay, it's only going to get younger by the second. They go into this game. Okay, no La'el Collins for the Cowboys at right tackle. Okay, there's obviously no defensive line. They have 4 guys out in the defensive line. 4 guys that are gone. Okay. They're missing Keanu Neal is out, and he's a backup linebacker, obviously. They're down. I mean, they have no defensive line, so look for blitzing. Look for Micah Parsons. They're going to line him up at certain points. They could be lining him up on Andre Dillard's side, most likely. Andre Dillard is starting left tackle for this game tomorrow night, which I think we caught a break with because they probably could have played Bellata, but they said, you know what, we need to see if Dillard is going to be if Dillard is worth being a backup left tackle, then yeah, I think this is going to be the time for him to prove himself. And I think this is Andre Dillard's shot at left tackle. This is his shot as of right now. I think this is totally his shot to do something at left tackle. Because if he doesn't do it, I don't know. Are the Eagles going to run the opposite way where Micah Parsons is? I don't know. I mean, I don't think they will. I mean, but your quarterback has to look good in the pocket. He can't run early. You got to look good. Overthrowing, underthrowing, the timing off on passes, missing guys wide open, running too early. I mean, that's the problem that Jalen Hurts has right now. Arm strength, it's everything as of right now. I mean, not much of arm strength. I just think he just tries to get the. And we've seen Jalen Hurts throw in short windows. Okay, we've seen Jalen Hurts throw in short windows, and that's the truth. So, kind of just want to go on a rant on that real quick. Just give you guys, just what I think of what's happened between last week and this week. They got to look productive. I mean, you take that Quez Watkins pass away last week. What did the receivers do? Under 20 yards for every receiver with Rager going out of bounds. I mean, everything. It just didn't work out. It's actually embarrassing. Our home opener was kind of embarrassing. I mean, they made stupid mistakes. And the game plan was not good. The game plan, it looked like a game plan. It looked like they ran the playbook from preseason. That's what it looked like. Now, Sirianni looks a little bit more humble now, but at the end of the day, it's a whole different story. So, I don't know. We'll see, though. Fly Park says, won a couple dollars today. Good day. Hey, dude, good job, man. Happy for you. I'm happy for you. You win money. I'm happy for you. Lou Morales says, give us any chance against the Chiefs after today. I don't know. We see how we look against the Cowboys. I mean, we just have to really see what we look like. I mean, Devontae Smith, you have him on your offense, and you give him only 16 yards pat. I mean, that's just it's unbelievable. I mean, it's really unbelievable. It's a waste. It's just a waste of a game. For all these receivers, these running backs, we had little to no production on offense. Besides that big pass to Quez Watkins, there was really nothing else. Really. When you take that away, nothing really much there. Michael says Justin Tucker, 66 yards. Justin Tucker is the best kicker in the league. He's the most accurate kicker in the league, and he's getting older now and still can kick. Really surprised over that, which is great. Eagle Slayer says Browns are a Super Bowl contender away from a quarterback. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm not a big fan of Baker Mayfield. That's just me. I think he has his faults. He has his weakness, obviously. Like, I don't think he's too great in the pocket. I don't know. I don't think he's consistent too much. I mean, the defense looks really good, but it's just a wait-and-see approach with it. Matt says Sack Jones. True Savage says the Giants are the second best team in New York. I mean, pretty much, yeah. The Jets are a travesty. Every year, it's always excitement with the Jets. I mean, the Jet fans get excited every single year. But that quarterback's not really playing that well either. But there are injuries and there are a lot of things happening. So they lost a couple good players to season-ending IR. Obviously, the big injuries. Eagles of Atlanta said Colts play Dolphins in Miami next. I think the Colts lose that game. So you think the Colts lose against the Dolphins? That's going to be interesting. And you know what? I forgot Jacoby Brissett was a quarterback for Miami, and he's not a bad quarterback, guys. And obviously he played for the Colts, and he actually didn't play that bad. He played some for the Patriots when Tom Brady was suspended a few years back. He played some valuable snaps in his career, and Nick Sirianni has worked with with Jacoby Brissett, and he's been, if he's used the right way, he's a solid backup. He's solid. He could win games. He could get it done. You know what I mean? Do I think he can take it to the top? Probably not. So Tua's going to be out the next 2 more weeks now. So we got Marley Cobra says everyone claimed the Falcons trash, but allowed them to score more points than we did. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they made it seem like they were very hard to beat. Now you lost Slayton. Okay, you lost Slayton and you lost Shepard in the first half. Okay, but it's really no excuse. You lost 2 receivers in the first half, but still, the Falcons aren't a good team defensively. They're not. Like, even if you lose Shepard and you know what I mean? Kadarius Toney should be getting more snaps. I mean, there was like a couple plays where Kadarius Toney got a pass and he just didn't look electrifying. I mean, he's not getting much playing time this year. You know what I mean? They drafted him in the first round to pretty much draft him to sit on the bench, and he's barely getting any, barely doing anything out there. You know what I mean? I think that was a wasted pick. In my opinion, I thought it was a wasted pick. Commissar said, hopefully Hurts scans the field and takes what defense gives him. I mean, he had checkdowns last game. He just did not see them. I hope he does not leave the pocket too soon as well. Yeah, no, I agree with that. And I don't want him to leave too early. Like, he's got to work that pocket. I mean, like him running for first downs is great, but only if your offense is running at a good level during the game. Like, if the offense is running really well and you could run for first downs on top of it, it's great. But when you're just running for first downs, you're not winning the game that way. It's not happening, so. Reba Talon says, Danielle Jones type of girl that always keeps getting sacked interceptions. Ronnie says, hi, Joey, how are you feeling about Eric Wilson? I thought he's played okay. I don't think he's played perfect. Like, he's missed tackles. The linebackers have missed a lot of tackles. The tackling hasn't been good with them. I think Singleton has been amazing this year. I think he's been pretty good. Wilson's been solid, but nothing perfect. Fly Parks is worried about Dillard tomorrow. I mean, yeah, most likely we're worried. Yeah, definitely worried about Dillard tomorrow. That's definite. We're just going to see, what happens. And, it is what it is. So I don't know what they're going to do. Micah Parsons might be lining up on that side, blitzing that side. I mean, we're going to have to use these running backs to a good advantage to pick up these blitzes, and Miles Sanders can do it. So how many carries is Miles Sanders going to get? Hopefully he has over 15 carries. That's what I want, but he might be a little busy back there trying to chip and pick up these blitzes tomorrow night. Because really, if this Eagles offense can't score on this Dallas defense, I don't even know what to say anymore. I mean, it's not the schedule down the road. I mean, we're really getting through the meat and potatoes of our schedule pretty early. At a phase with the Eagles right now, the phase that we're in is we're still like trying to find that rhythm, trying to find our identity as of right now. There's a lot of young players, it's just we don't, there's a lot of young guys on this team right now. You know what I mean? It's just they're Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts is what's going to make this team successful. That's just the truth. Like if Nick's bad coaching is going to reflect on Jalen Hurts playing this bad. And look, I'm not saying he's playing that horrible. He's not throwing 2 picks a game. He's not getting sacked every 2 seconds. He's not fumbling the football. So that's a good thing. Is it the worst I've seen? Definitely not, but he's got to clean some stuff up, and we have to get these balls to the receivers, and you have to work your tight ends into this offense. Okay, Zach Ertz is playing Sunday. You will have Dallas Goedert. You have weapons in this offense. There's no excuse to run trick plays. There's no excuse. You have weapons here. So that's where I'm kind of getting at right now. Commissar says defense was on the field a lot last game, so they did. Yeah, they got tired. Yeah, they got tired. I mean, you go 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. Then what, the third quarter, the 49ers held the ball for like 10 minutes. I mean, they held the ball for like 9 to 10 minutes of total possession. It wasted almost the whole quarter. So, I mean, you can't do that. Commissar said also they rotate way too much to the defensive line. Yeah, I think as the game goes on, Gannon is rotating. I don't think he's rotating every 5 plays. I think like literally throughout the game, he's just, you got to keep guys in the game for a few snaps. Like you got to give these guys reps because I know you want to keep guys fresh, but there's no momentum with any of these players because they can't get a chance to they come in fresh and like it takes a couple of plays, a few plays to get ready, get prepared, and we need some. I don't know. We need these guys to stay in. That's why I was good for benching Barnett this week. I want to give more reps to Sweat and more reps to Kerrigan this week because I've seen nothing from these guys. I mean, absolutely nothing other than Hassan Ridgeway and Javon Hargrave. Javon Hargrave, I'm happy that he's showing something. Thank God because we just gave him that contract a couple of years ago. So it's or last offseason, I should say. So it's kind of crazy. You know what I mean? This is 2 running backs. Miles Sanders, Kenneth Gainwell. Boston Scott is I don't know. They're never going to address him. I don't know why they're not bringing up Jordan Howard. It makes no sense to me why they're not. Comments the Cowboys look solid though. They somehow look solid everywhere, which is surprising. Even their corners are looking good now. I think Anthony Brown is the worst corner. I don't think he's good. Trevon Diggs, I think he's played better. I think he's played a pretty good few games. Anthony Brown is the one that's really bad. I think Anthony Brown is who you got to really attack. Even Diggs too. Like Diggs has his hiccups as well, but Anthony Brown is the worst of the 2 cornerbacks. As of right now. So if there's no pass rush for this Dallas defense, Eagles should have a lot of time to throw the ball. They should have a lot of time to throw the ball in this game, even with Andre Dillard at left tackle. If Andre Dillard can't block any backups like third string defensive ends for Dallas, I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, it's going to be really embarrassing. So hopefully, that's going to cause turnovers. If Jalen Hurts doesn't check his blind side, I mean, that's what you have to really get into your left tackle on it. I mean, it's crazy. So not having Jordan Mailata is it's not good. But at the same time, they could have put him in the game this week, but obviously, you need him at 100%. We have a lot of games left, so you don't want to risk it. Fly Park says pray for Andy Reid. Yeah, I heard he did leave. He didn't really feel well, but I heard he was fine before he left the stadium today. So it is what it is. Daily Food says I thought we played KC. We do play KC. We play KC after Monday night. Yes, we played KC. Counselor, Sam Darnold got out of Adam Gase curse, and he's always been good. I can't believe we almost had Adam Gase as our head coach. Yeah, that would have been really scary. And on top of everything else, yeah, I think Darnold was definitely brought into a really bad situation with the coaching, and they fired their head, they fired their GM, their head coach. I mean, this is before this is really when Joe Douglas took over, and Jets had a top draft pick, and obviously just the coaching just was really bad. It was a lot of just dysfunctional things going on with the Jets. So. Fly Park says Micah Parsons isn't that good. I think he's solid. I think he's a good blitzer. I think he can tack really well. I think he's been good in that format, but I think his coverage is where he's very. If you take Micah Parsons out of the picture and you pick up that blitz, you're going to get somebody else open in the middle of the field. That takes someone out of the play. So you're down to another linebacker or two that's left middle of the field wherever they're at. I think the middle of the field should be wide open if they decide to blitz with him a lot in this game tomorrow night. So. Barack Obama said, did y'all hear about Collins tried to bribe an official should be terminated? Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why these NFL players think they're so untouchable. Yeah, so La'el Collins actually tried to bribe one of the guys that test the players for drugs and stuff like that. That they're taking, obviously he tried to pay him and it didn't work out, obviously. So he got suspended the 5 games. And I guess that news did come out as well. I don't know what these NFL players think they are today. Commissar says, I'd rather have LaRaven Clark at left tackle, if being honest, but he could surprise me. I just can't stand everything about Dillard. I don't know if LaRaven Clark's even healthy right now. I mean, I could be wrong, but I thought I heard he was hurt. I thought they released him at one point. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe I was reading about somebody else. I know that LaRaven Clark got hurt again. Okay, we picked him up off of an ACL injury. Okay, this year he's played left tackle, right guard, right tackle. Okay, he's been all over the line for the Colts. So they brought him in with familiarity of him and what he does. But I don't think he's been healthy at all. Probably why he's not behind. Or maybe he's not better than Andre Dillard. I really don't know. Fly Park says Land Dickerson has to play better. Yeah, I mean, look, I was more comfortable putting Nate Herbig in. I'm actually still surprised. I'm still surprised that they actually have, Dickerson playing. I mean, look, I think they think I guess his health is good. I mean, he had no preseason, no OTAs, no rookie minicamp, no nothing. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, now he's starting to get into the groove now. So him next to Lane Johnson should be good. Should be a nice upgrade. He didn't play. He got thrown to the fire last week. He got thrown right into the fire when Brandon Brooks went down, which I know we're all surprised that Brandon Brooks getting hurt. Trust me. Because we're definitely not. You know what I mean? Commissar says Smith and Watkins were open a lot. Hurts not throw to them. Yeah, they were open. I watched the game probably like 3 times. A lot of receivers were open. Ran too early. Just unfortunate. Alex Robbins says you would be a great head coach for the Eagles. No, I would not. I would be far from it, bro. I appreciate the confidence, but definitely not. Jersey Kush says Devontae's getting almost 30% of the targets. Just got to connect. Yeah, I mean, there's overthrow, underthrow. I mean, look, on the go routes, they need something more. Why aren't these receivers being a little bit more twitchy at the line of scrimmage? Like, why aren't they kind of making some moves? Like, they're just running in a straight line, or they're just running forward. Like, they're not trying to use their craft. I don't know why these coaches are not letting these guys do that, or why they're not doing that, which makes no sense to me. When you start on the line as a receiver, you kind of like do this little move. I'm not just saying like you kind of just go left and right and then move, go upfield. I'm talking like, kind of like fake, go left and go right, or I don't know, at least some type of twitch move at the line of scrimmage when the play starts, to get that separation. I don't know. They look predictable. It looked, and Jalen Hurts couldn't connect on these throws. I thought he would have had a touchdown to Devontae Smith beginning of the game when he threw to him near the end zone and, on the way to the end zone, but the timing was off to the point where he had separation. Devontae Smith had the separation and had to come back, for the football. And then the second time was up the right side on a go route and underthrew it. You know what I mean? So that makes a big deal. That's touchdowns right there. You know what I mean? Same thing with Matt Stafford today. He missed, he got Deshaun Jackson on that 75-yarder today. He missed Deshaun Jackson 2 other times, and he underthrew both passes. Like, they probably would have scored another 2. Deshaun would have had probably close to 200 yards receiving almost if they passed him. Those other 2 other times weren't underthrown, and they were. You know what I mean? So, you got to be smart, when you're doing that. You know what I mean? But Carlos, what's going on, bro? Hope you're having a good night tonight. Commissar, 66 yards. What is that, a record he just broke? Yeah, it's the record of the NFL history, I guess. That's the record. Tyler says Denver 3-0. Yeah, Denver's starting to get some attention now. They're starting to get some attention. I know KJ Hamler, one of their good receivers, is definitely out right now with injury. Commissar, hopefully Zach Wilson could break free from the Jets curse, just like Sam Darnold did. He could leave while he still can. Commissar, hopefully Tua comes back because Brissett is going to win Miami games. I did not realize Brissett was that much better than Tua. I think he's solid. I think because Brissett's been a starter in this league a lot. He's been a starter at the Colts. He's been a starter with the Patriots for a short amount of time. Brissett's a good quarterback. He's a solid quarterback. Can he take it to the top? I don't know, but he's good, though. I mean, he's capable. So... Jay Shung says, what's up? The bloopers video was funny. Yeah, I made that last night. I figured I would make that last night. I got a good laugh out of it, so I thought it was funny. Commissar, hopefully Miles Sanders runs through holes, doesn't jump to the outside for no reason like he did last game. Yeah, he's got to stop doing that. That's the one thing he's got to stop is doing that. Like I don't like that. Like if there's you guys got to take. He's looking for that home run. He's doing way too much of that because he's trying to get that home run. That big run that he's trying to get, and I just don't think he's going to get it that way. Get the yards while you can still get them. You know what I mean? Get those yards while you can still get them. I don't see why you can't do that. Something takes it. That blue video earlier today was funny. Appreciate it, bro. Texas says, how about them Chiefs? Yeah, it's crazy. Texas is such a sloppy 49ers game. I haven't been watching it at all today. Sean says, make it easy on Jalen like it was against Atlanta. Well, Atlanta's not much of a better defense. I mean, look, I think the Dallas Cowboys have no defensive line coming to this game. They have no defensive line coming to this game. They're out like DeMarcus Lawrence plus another 3 or 4 guys. I mean, they're depleted at defensive line. So I mean, if they can't block, if they're getting pressure, if they're not doing their jobs, it's going to be embarrassing. It's going to be really embarrassing. Comment says, I mean, Dillard did get destroyed in a preseason. That's why I'm worried. Yeah, no, he did. He didn't play good. Well, I think what was it, the Patriot game? I forgot what game it was he got destroyed in. I don't know what game it was. I forgot what game it was. So I'm not really sure what happened. We got Robert Jordan with the super chat. Appreciate it very much, man. He says, what up, Joey Shakes? Want to hear a joke? New York Giants and Washington football team walk into a bar to drown in their sorrows. That's definite. We got to take care of business tomorrow night, guys. Eagles, Cowboys, it can't get any better than that tomorrow night. The whole world is going to be watching tomorrow night. You know what I mean? So at this point, they got to take care of business. It's nice seeing other teams lose. It's nice to talk about it, but we have to take care of our own business. I think the Eagles could beat them. I think they haven't. We all know, guys, that this Eagles team has not reached their ceiling at all with what they could do. It's such an early process. We're going to the 3rd game. That's it. We have so many more games to play. You know what I mean? I feel like usually seasons do go by fast, and they do. But as of right now, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. You know what I mean? So the Eagles have a huge chance to win this game. I hope they show heart. I know they'll show heart, but I hope they show more than what they've been showing us. And you know what? It's tough. You know, I mean, it's tough to win in this league. You have a rookie head coach. You got, Nick Sirianni does a lot of talking, which I do like, but at the same time, he's got to show it on the field. You know what I mean? Big D says Dallas linebacking corps could still give Jalen trouble. He looks the same as he did last week. Well, yeah, they can, but they would have to blitz a lot of time. You know what I mean? They have to blitz. I mean, they would have to blitz. If they have I project them to have no pass rush in this game because of who they have. Because they have nobody. They're down to second, probably close to third stringers with most of their defensive linemen. So I'm hoping that the linebackers don't do it all. Like, if linebackers get to him all the time, it's just going to be embarrassing. I don't think that's going to happen. It's not going to happen every single play. They will blitz, I mean, definitely, because that pass rush should not get through this Eagles offensive line. With even Dillard included, like, if Dillard can't do it, like, this is his chance. This is his chance now to do something in this game. He better do something. That's all I got to say. George Oblivion, what's going on? Says, I would love to win more than anything, but it's a competitive game. That's not the worst thing. If we look good and play 4 quarters, that's not the end of the world. No, it's not. Like, even if they still look bad, but still get production offensively and defensively, I'll be happy about the win. Getting this win is important. Number one, it's a division win. You need a division game. You need the win. You need it because at the end of the year, it's going to count. You know, these wins count. Division wins count at the end of the year. You know, you have another wild card spot this year. I mean, there's a lot that goes into this, but clean up your problems, clean up your play calling, and clean up what you need to clean up as of right now early in the season so you don't have to deal with it later on. You know what I mean? Oh, Drizzle says Capillo just had a meltdown live. I bet he did. Eagles 795 to Seahawks 2019. He got pancaked. Andy mixes Micah and Gregory ain't trash when it comes to rushing the passer, though. Well, no, they're not. They're not trash at all. I think Micah Parsons is good at going against especially at the pass rush. I think he's really good. But when it comes to his coverage, that's where if he blitzes, I'm telling you right now, Miles Sanders will block him. Okay, he might get through maybe a couple times, or maybe he won't. I don't know. Miles Sanders is really good at pass protection in the backfield, so he might pick him up. He'll drop his whole body. I think Miles will take care of Micah Parsons, and once he's out of the picture and we get protection off of that blitz, it's going to open up a lot for this offense. So that's what I think will happen. Alex Robinson says, are you doing more Madden simulations? Yeah, I don't know if I'm doing one this week. I've been busy doing other things, so maybe next week. Big D says, is Gregory in? Texas said, Eagles ranked top 3 right now in pass defense. I mean, yeah, I think Steven Nelson and Slay have actually done a pretty good job. Slay the past couple weeks has only given up 20 yards. Nelson's played pretty solid. I don't think he's been the greatest, but I think he's played pretty solid. I mean, this is what happens when you actually have a capable corner on the other side of Darius Slay. Okay, this is the big difference. You don't have to move Darius Slay all the way around the field constantly. Steven Nelson is having a pretty good year so far. We just need if we could get this pass rush going. If we can get this pass rush going in this Cowboys game Monday night, I think we could do a good job. I think we'll do a really good job. I do. Odell Joseph says, if Wentz doesn't finish the season, I'm still good with an early second. No, and it's going to be a really early second-round pick. That's a good thing about it. You know what I mean? Because that's early second could turn into a first. You could trade that into the first round. I mean, you can move up with that pick. You know what I mean? So it's nice to have. If you have, like, pretty much the first pick in the second round, you're good. Like, you could do a lot of things with that pick. You know what I mean? You can get a good player with that pick. Even the first couple picks in the second round, you could do a good job with that. So, we need to see. We need to see what they do tomorrow night, but we need to see, like, this offense. We need to see a rhythm here. We need to see these receivers get involved, tight ends get involved. We had no production from receivers besides Quez Watkins. That's it. That counted at least. That was it last game. So. Chris Will says, I love the Eagles, but Joey, they will lay an egg. I don't know if they're not just going to lay down for the Cowboys. Okay, I don't think it should be a close game. I mean, if it's not, then I'll be very upset at this team tomorrow night. I really will. But Jason Goncola says, not going to lie, I'm more worried about not getting pressure on Dak. I was so excited about the D-line coming to the season. I was too. I don't know where is it the substitutions? Is he substituting way too early? Like, are the guys not getting, are they getting warmed up in these games to where they're in enough for enough amount of time? I don't know, but they need to show something here. Fletcher Cox, where are you at? Hargrave's the only one that's really done anything the past couple weeks. I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, that's true. Definitely true. Big D said, I remember Chiefs fans telling me, thank God we faced you guys when we did. Dilly Philly says, Joey, it's just crazy shakes. Lago Park says, thank you for your honesty. Commissar says, we'll see. Cowboys look really good. I mean, they almost beat the Bucks and did beat the Chargers, who just defeated the Chiefs. I hope we win. I don't think so, if I'm being honest. I think that's going too far. What you guys got to know is the first game of the season, when Tampa and the Cowboys went at it, okay, the first game of the season is always a toss-up game because Tampa's going to look better later on. Tampa lost today against a really good Rams defense, okay? Tampa's going to look good this year. Tampa is not going to look that bad as they looked, okay, even in that game against the Cowboys, okay? Like, I give the Cowboys credit. I thought Dak looked great. I thought the run game, was not great. It didn't look too good. They couldn't really run the football, but I thought offensively with Dak and these receivers, they played really well. CeeDee Lamb had some drops. He made up for them later on. But it's the first game. You have no blueprint. You have no replica of plays. You're coming off of preseason. Nobody is showing all their plays in preseason. So the first game is always a toss-up game. Plus, I think for the last 2 weeks of preseason, Tampa Bay didn't even have any starters in. So, I mean, there's the Cowboys still lost, but at the same time, it's just, that's just what happens with the first game. Like, that's what Cowboys fans are thinking, because after beating the Tampa Bay Bucks, they were pretty much like, oh my God, we're beating a Super Bowl. We just beat a Super Bowl contender. You know what I mean? And they think it's like something fantastic, and it's not. It's the first game of the season. All teams play like, they make a lot of mistakes in the first game. Some teams don't, and a lot of teams do. Okay, and most of the time they do. Tampa did not look good for the first game, and that's definite. Texas, how do you watch the game, play-by-play, study a player? Is there a website for free? I mean, no. I mean, if you know the player for a long time, or like you're watching the game, I don't know like what you actually watch for play-by-plays. I mean, I know there's a thing on NFL that you could subscribe to that it goes by, like, you could look at all the plays for every single game. I haven't done it, so I don't really know. Hold on, I lost my place. We got 96 people in the chat, guys. Appreciate being here. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel. If you guys haven't, hit the like button for the video. Check out some of the content if you guys have not. Obviously, tomorrow night, Dallas Cowboys. We're going to be streaming the game tomorrow, and then right after the game, we're doing a Philly Shakedown on Philly 500's channel, so check that out. We're going to be busy tomorrow night, and hopefully on a positive note, we'll have some good feedback. So, Trav does stuff, so let's just hope that every team in the NFC East does not look like hot garbage. Well, they do. I mean, every team pretty much does right now. If you don't think they look, there's no team in the NFC East look like hot garbage. I'm going to tell you, like every team, the NFC East doesn't look good this year. I mean, as of right now, there's no team right now that's really separating themselves from the pack right now, and that's definite. You know what I mean? King Love action, what good Joey division looking like? It's ours for the taking. Fly Eagles fly. I don't know if that's the case. I'm not going to go too far and say we got the division. That's definitely not true. Like, you got to win this game Monday night against the Cowboys. You have to, because you have a long stretch of games that can either be. You better hope you win tomorrow night, because then you're going to have some tough games against KC, the Panthers, Tampa, and then you got the Raiders that look pretty good right now. As well as, like I said, the Panthers look good right now either. I think Panthers could be a realistic win. I think it could. I think Panthers and Raiders could be realistic. Tampa Bay, I don't know. They're kind of not playing good, but you got to play good defense against Tom Brady. Is Jalen Hurts in this offense going to score every time and catch up with Brady? Because that's going to be the question for that week. I don't know. Thursday Night Football. I don't know. Mr. Luke Roach says, remember Giants fans saying it's only the Falcons, but we were demolished the Falcons 2 weeks ago. Yeah, no, like, it's embarrassing. It's really embarrassing. Like, I think the Giants are the most overrated team in the NFL. Like, they're one of the most overrated teams. I think they look worse than us in a weird way. Joe Judge, like, now the fans are starting to see that Joe Judge is horrible. Like, he talks the talk, but obviously it doesn't show in games. You know, Sirianni is, no, I'm not saying he's the same way, but he talks a lot. It makes us feel good, and then he gets into games like he did last week, and it was really embarrassing. His play calling sequence was not good. It wasn't good at all. Oh, Dizzle Drizzle says Daniel Jones is trash. Giants are probably drafting Colin Forsythe with their first-round pick. Like, here's the thing about the draft next year about quarterbacks. If Jalen Hurts doesn't work out for the Eagles, right? If Jalen Hurts doesn't work out for the Eagles, and Eagles want to go after a quarterback, okay, you could have Washington could be going after a quarterback. I think the realistic options for Washington could be Deshaun Watson. It could be Aaron Rodgers to Washington as well. I mean, I believe after this year, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe if things don't work out, if they do work out, I don't know. Fitzpatrick will be gone, obviously, but I think there'll be a lot of more realistic options there. Because if you have it's really hard. I mean, some years are good for going after quarterback, and some are not. I'm not really high on the draft next year for quarterbacks. I'm really not. Eddie Price says, what up, Joey? What do you think about Dillard playing? I'm not happy about it. I hope this is his chance. This is Dillard's chance to shine in this game. It's his chance to shine and do something and prove that he could be a backup left tackle. Obviously, from Jordan Mailata getting paid, hopefully he didn't feel like down about it, and probably did. But he's got a chance to show that he could be a backup left tackle. Now, I've heard from Jeff Stoutland that he's been cross-training to the right side a little bit at right tackle, which I don't know if that's even going to work. He would have to train at right tackle for the whole entire offseason if that's the case, because you can't put him there a couple times. You can't practice there a couple times. He played right tackle that one time last year, and it was horrible. I mean, you changed your offensive line 14 times last year. You know what I mean? So, Tex says, I think we can go 2-0 for Giants and the Washington football team. Logo Park says, Joey is just a homer. He knows you're going to lose. He just believes his own lies. No, I mean, I never said we were going to win the game. I never said we were going to lose the game. All I'm saying is they have to change their game plan. Obviously, you haven't been around. Have never seen your day before. Shea Butler says, Dallas stinks. Biggie says, they really said what? Well, then, okay. Eagle Sarah says, talking about Dillard. Shell Beach says Micah's on the D-line now, though. Well, that's what I'm saying. If Micah's on the D-line, he's going to line on Dillard. He's either lining on Dillard or Lane Johnson. So if he lines on Dillard, okay, they'll do a tight end chip, or they'll have Miles Sanders in the backfield to pass protect, or obviously Kenneth Gainwell as well. Like, I don't think he's going to be able to do. I really don't think he's going to be able to do anything. We have running backs that are perfect in pass protection. I don't think he's going to do anything. He might get through. He might chase down Jalen Hurts a couple times. I'm not saying he's going to do absolutely nothing, but he's got a big chance to absolutely do nothing in this game because he's not lining up on Lane Johnson in this game. So it's going to make it real obvious where he's going to be attacking. Is obviously our left side, his right side, obviously. So that's where it's going to come into account. Texas, do you think the Colts will do something like bench Wentz if they play bad? Yeah, I think if they lose another 2 games, I think he'll get benched. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I think the Colts have to win a couple games. It stinks that they're playing Miami next week because we really want Miami to keep losing. But I'd rather I'd rather what's more valuable right now. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's for those 2 first-round picks. You know what I mean? So I think at the end of the day, Miami will play. I think at the end of the day, the Colts will play worse than Miami because with Jacoby Brissett and then obviously with Tua coming back, they'll probably play better. I think they're playing really good with Jacoby Brissett anyway, even though they did lose today. It was his first start. But it just depends. It just depends. I mean, I'd rather have Carson win a game. This way, it keeps him in games and starting. But they have to be in competition for the division against the Titans because if they're not, they're just going to bench Wentz. And look, even if we don't get 3 first-round picks, if we don't get that first-round pick from the Colts, you're still going to have 2 firsts and 2 seconds, and you're going to have a high second-round pick from the Colts next year, which isn't bad. But yeah, having 3 first-rounders, yeah. I mean, you could do a lot of damage with that. You could definitely turn the team around pretty easily with that. If you use them correctly and do the right thing, yeah, you could do a lot with that. So, I know what to say, bro. Been a minute since I watched you. How are you feeling about Devontae Smith? Still feel good about him. He might look a little scared here and there, but creating separate. I don't think he's scared at all. It's really about it's Jalen Hurts not getting him the ball. It's Jalen Hurts. It's Jalen Hurts. Why Devontae Smith has 16 yards? It's Jalen Hurts. Why Devontae Smith has 16 yards? Because of obviously the plays, the play sequence, whatever it is. It's really all on Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni for Devontae Smith to be successful in this offense because he's not looking good. Not because Devontae Smith is playing bad. I mean, he drew, 2 PI calls, and then he should have had another 2 PI calls that weren't called, and had separation first pass, had separation the second pass, and it was over. Bad timing on the first pass, underthrown on the second pass. It was just bad, guys. It was that bad. You know what I mean? Richardson, did Wentz do a presser after the loss today? Cannot seem to look at it. He should. He should have done a presser today. I mean, all quarterbacks do pressers, whether they win or lose. So, Big D said Colts are benching him. If they're not benching him, if he keeps losing, they will bench him. Eagle says everyone from Hurts to the punter needs to play up to par and will come out victorious. Yeah. You just got to look. He just has to look capable. And Nick Sirianni's got to put him in the right position. And obviously Jalen Hurts has to make these throws. He's got to time these throws. He's got to see guys open. That's definite. Big D says, I'll spoil it. He said we need to do better again. Actually, I don't really know. You probably weren't surprised. No, I wasn't surprised. Cobbett says, also, we're rotating so much that Jackson and Tupuola are in a lot of snaps, which is kind of ridiculous. Sweat would come in, and then Jackson would come in. It's kind of, I don't know. Like, I don't like the substitutions of their defensive line. I don't like Tupuola. I think he's horrible. I don't know why they even drafted him. I think that was probably the worst pick of the draft. And he's a very undersized defensive tackle. I don't know. I don't like him. I never liked him. What is he at USC? I don't like him. Teron Jackson has done nothing. Milton Williams made a couple tackles. I mean, really has done nothing. Defensive line has been pretty much sweat. There's nothing there. Fletcher Cox, nothing there. I mean, there's really nothing there. Javon Hargrave has gotten through, like, to where your naked eye could see a defensive lineman go through the line. You'd say, whoa, we got a lot of pressure. Like, haven't seen that. Losing Brandon Graham was a big hit. It was a big hit. But now, they got to step it up. They have to step it up. You got 2 corners that have played pretty good the past couple weeks. They played pretty good. But, you have no pressure. There's no pressure. I don't care about the sacks. Just make the quarterback lose his mind in the pocket. That's all I want. That's it. If you get pressure, you're doing your job. I don't care. And, everything will work out itself. Stop dropping easy turnovers. I mean, obviously we got screwed last week on that Kevon Wallace hit with the running back had his head down. Kevon Wallace out of playing nasty football, put his head down, and they called it on Kevon Wallace, a penalty. It would have been a turnover. Fumble, picked up and ready to go. I just don't, we've had opportunities. Big D says Fletcher's been a liability. I haven't been the past 6 games. 7 games, whatever it is, he's had a quarterback hit and 1 sack. I mean, that's all he's had. That's it. That's all he's had. Simple as that. Like, that's not enough. He's your highest player. He's the highest paid player on this team right now. Thank God they restructured him. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't really pull out. Pause. If he doesn't convert anything into anything. Like look, you guys could tell, guys. Like it's not about the sacks. Like you guys could tell that when guys get pressure, like whoa, he had a lot of pressure today. He played well. You know automatically who plays good in that defensive line because you see it up close and personal. You see it. You haven't seen that this year, besides Javon Hargrave and Hassan Ridgeway for the first game. But other than that, I haven't seen much of anything. Like where a guy gets to the backfield, I haven't seen that. Brandon Graham on one tackle versus the Falcons got in the backfield. I mean, really, other than that, that's it. It's disappeared. I don't know where this pass rush is. It pisses me off. It does. Let's see here. Shrab Does Stuff says Daniel Jones has showed zero progression since he was drafted. Look, Daniel Jones, at this point of his career, he needs a perfect situation in front of him. He needs an offensive line that's capable of obviously protecting, which he hasn't really had that consistently this season so far. Okay? The Giants have spent a lot of money on Kenny Galladay. Kenny Galladay's more of I don't know what he is. I don't think he's even playing good this year. Okay, I don't think he's a starting quarterback in this league. I don't. I thought he played okay today. I didn't think he played great, but I didn't think he played horrible. I thought he choked on some passes. I thought that even that touchdown he got, he's got toughness to him. He literally ran into a defensive end to go get a touchdown. He didn't care. You know what I mean? So he's got toughness to him, but it's not going to win you games. You know what I mean? It's not going to win you games at all. So it just depends. We just shout out Sonic Stan says the Cowboys are without a doubt the biggest threat taking the NFC East away from the Eagles. Yeah, of course. I think Dallas is the bigger threat because offensively I think they're very capable. I think they have one of the best wide receiver corps in the league. But they have veteran leadership. They have they have veterans. They have guys that have been in the league for a while. We're a very fresh team right now. Quez Watkins is very young. Devontae Smith we just drafted. Greg Ward's been around, but he's not getting snaps, barely. I mean, there's a lot of guys right now. It's a very young offense. You got Kellen Moore as the offensive coordinator for Dallas. That could be a head coach next year. I mean, he's doing a good job. You know what I mean? It just depends. You know what I mean? It just depends. I think they just look better offensively. I think Dak has been the best quarterback so far in the division so far. I can't really disagree with that as of right now. I think Tony Pollard has become a better runner than Ezekiel Elliott. That's just me. I think you can use him in other ways. I think he's tough. I think he could be he acts like he's a bruiser. He's not afraid to hit anybody. They have a good offense. Their offensive line is very good. You know what I mean? So they know how to run an offense in Dallas. They do. They just have a lot of veteran talent and leadership. You know what I mean? I'm not saying the Eagles have no talent, but Sirianni has got to call the right plays, and Jalen has to make the right throws and time the right throws at the right time, because if that doesn't happen, this is going nowhere this year. Absolutely nowhere. Well, we're not expecting the Eagles to go to the Super Bowl. We're not expecting them to be in an NFC Championship game. We're expecting them to leave the season on a good note, whether it's they don't make a division win, they don't win the division, or they just we're going to be mad at if they don't win the division. We're just going to sit there. We're going to be mad but we're going to say, did this team take a step forward this year? Did they look better later in the season? What did we do right and what did we do wrong, and what do we have to change going into 2022? That's going to be the big question. And what draft picks do we have? And all that comes to account, which we're not obviously in draft mode right now, but it's important. Is Jalen Hurts looks like a capable quarterback that could be your franchise quarterback. He's only played 6 games. There's a lot of unknowns with this team right now. But as the games go on, we're going to find out the story. People ask me about are they going to bench Jalen Hurts later and put in Gardner Minshew? I don't think that's going to happen. They need a full year evaluation. You start switching quarterbacks constantly during the year, you're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to get anywhere. The Eagles are wasting a whole year on evaluation if that's the case. See what Jalen Hurts has in 2021. See what he has this year. If the Eagles think that they're good, they stick with him. I think if it's up to me right now, I think the Eagles will keep Jalen Hurts I think Jalen Hurts will be the starting quarterback for one more year. And I think if that's the case, then yeah, maybe some changes will be made. Because really right now, it's all about him getting better, making the right throws, making the timing of the throws perfect, and this offense needs to look capable of doing anything. And Nick Sirianni is in charge of all that. He took blame for the play calls. He took blame for last week. which I could appreciate. He's not just saying, "Oh, we just got to do better next week. We'll play better next week." No, like he said, my sequence of plays were not good, and saying everything how he said it. His play calling was not good. He would love to take a lot of plays away, and that's it. You know what I mean? Commissar says, I don't like any QB coming out of the NFL draft next year. I'd rather have Minshew. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad Minshew. Minshew will most likely be the backup to Jalen Hurts next year if that's the case. Or if the Eagles, if Jalen Hurts looks bad this year, then, Minshew, I mean, I don't know if there'll be a quarterback competition. I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, anything could happen next year. I'd rather us not have a competition. I'd rather us just, like, is Jalen Hurts the guy? Is 1 year enough? Is 1.5 years enough for Jalen Hurts? Is that the best we've seen? Is that the best we're going to get from him? That's going to be the questions we have. Is Nick Sirianni, is anything wrong with him? Is he not doing the right thing? Does Nick Sirianni look better with his play calling later in the season? I don't know. Rookie head coach. That's the problem. So there's a lot of variables that we have to go over, but it's we're going into week 3 of the season. Week 3. That's it. Week 3 of the season. That's what we're going into right now. Jonathan joined us. So the Giants and Washington are doing their best to help us win the division. That's what it seems like, right? Diamondback said we have to activate Jordan Howard for those 3rd and 1s. I wish. Yeah, if I was the coach right now, I'd be bringing Jordan Howard up right now. Trust me, if I had the decision I could make it, I would do it for you. But I don't know. Doing read options on 3rd and 1, I'm not a fan of it because Jalen Hurts likes to hesitate on keeping the ball for himself or giving it to his running back. I can't stand it. I don't like these running backs dancing constantly. Just go get the first down. Stop trying to dance in the backfield. Try to get a big home run play, which they always try to do. You know what I mean? Mike says, who covers CD? I think with Gallup being out of this game, Amari Cooper has got the ribs, the bruised ribs as of right now. I think you just keep it as Darius Slay is on Amari Cooper. I think you put Steven Nelson on CeeDee Lamb, and CeeDee's going to have a good game. CeeDee's not getting shut down. CeeDee's a good receiver. He's going to get his moments. Okay, he will get his moments when the time comes. He will get them. But as of right now, I don't know if Amari Cooper is 100%, which I don't think he is. Is he going to be going full speed at 75, 80%? That's something that the Eagles are going to have to spy on him a little bit to see how he's running. Does he look like he's running full routes at 100%? Are his ribs a lot better Monday than they were a couple days ago? I don't know, but we're just going to have to see. You know what I mean? We're just going to have to find out if his ribs are better from last week. So we'll find out. Mr. Luke Roach, the best case scenario, Dillard plays really well and ups his trade value. I don't think Howie is done. No, I think if he does start playing well, and I think he'll only be in for this game because Mulatto will be back. I think he will be back most likely. So if that's the case, guys, it's only going to put his value up. I think you're right on that. I think you're right. And, hopefully you could, get some value for him and maybe make a trade. I don't know. Eagles need to draft linemen early next year. I mean, they have to go 3rd round and draft one. No joke. Eagles have to go in the 3rd round next year and get a lineman. They have to draft a guard next year or a left tackle. Something there. That could be a backup because we need more depth at offensive line. I think we're good at guard as of for this year, as of right now. I mean, next year, depending if Jason Kelce retires. This all depends on Jason Kelce retiring and obviously Brandon Brooks if he stays here, which I really don't want. I'm done with Brandon Brooks. He's been hurt way too much. I'm done. I'm totally done. Okay, too many injuries. 2 Achilles injuries in 2 seasons. Not even 2 days in the training camp, he had a hamstring. First week of practice against the Falcons, he had a knee injury. Now he's a pectoral. It just doesn't end. It doesn't end. He's been hurt every single chance, every moment of this offseason into the regular season. He has been hurt with injuries nonstop. It just hasn't stopped. So, it is what it is. Asher says, Gainwell will put Parsons in his butt just like he did in college. I totally forgot about that clip. Anime Black Live, what's going on? Is Dillard can't block a linebacker, he's trapped. Well, yeah, I think so. If Dillard can't even block one of these third string defensive ends that the Dallas Cowboys have, if he can't even handle them, then yeah, he's in big trouble. We're in big trouble for that game. Then they got to start to do something. Commissar said, the thing is Sewell got moved to right tackle. Did not work, so he moved back to left tackle and has played great. Dillard moved to right tackle, then acted like a baby about it, then played bad at left tackle. Yeah, I think it's a mentality thing with Dillard. I think, and the Eagles, that's the Eagles' fault. Number one, they drafted him when Jason Peters was here. They redshirted Dillard, which wasn't the right thing to do. I think they made the worst decision by drafting Dillard. I wasn't even mad about the pick, but You can't draft a first-round talent and then redshirt him behind Jason Peters. Like, why? And then on top of that, he can't stay healthy. And on top of that, mentally, you put him in a situation for him to fail. You put him in a situation to fail, and guess what happens? You just literally took his confidence away. And then you just paid Mulata on top of it. Now it's just like he knows he's not going to be the starting left tackle of this team. So how does he act? How does he take all this? No idea. He hasn't requested a trade or anything. I mean, I don't know. But maybe he has, and we don't know. Maybe it's behind closed doors. You never know. But Odo's says, Joey, why don't they use Mulata rugby history for goal line instead of 5-yard line? It would be like old times. I would love it. I would absolutely love it if they did that. Probably won't, though. Chris Wimber said, if Hurts doesn't work during the season. Thomas says, I don't get why Wentz is playing injured. He does not play well while being injured. Shaking my head. That's his problem, not ours. Yeah, I don't even care. All I care about is that first-round pick. That's all. Like, if he wants to play on 2 sprained ankles, like who? You ever heard of someone playing on 2 sprained ankles? I mean, I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that in my life. Like, literally. I've never sprained both my ankles, like, ever. I don't know if he did it at the same time. I don't know if he sprained both of them in one game. I don't even know. But this guy's not going to have a career. Period. Like, he's going to have one of the shortest careers, almost, for a quarterback. He's going to have one of the shortest careers. If the Colts are done with him after this year, or at least after next year, you know what I mean? Like, Frank Reich is the only reason why he's there. That's it, because I don't think he would have a job anywhere else. Maybe he would, but no one was going to trade anything good for him. I thought we got fair compensation, because what has he done? Besides help us win a Super Bowl, what has he done? Besides the Super Bowl, and besides leading us to a Super Bowl, or leading us, obviously, to the postseason, and then the last month of 2019, where he pretty much beat out a bad NFC East division, and, yeah, only played for 8 snaps in a wild card game against the Seahawks. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. That's all you got out of him. But he always wanted to be the hero. He wanted to come back early. 2018 came along, and he didn't waste any time. He was not, from his LCL, ACL injury, he was still injured, and came back way too early. Then he had the spine injury on top of it. Couldn't even do anything. That's when Nick Foles came back and was successful yet again. And then finally in 2019, Wentz is perfectly healthy, no problems about his health, and the guy can't play. But 2020 didn't play. 2019, he played very well last month of the season. Really only the last month of the season he played well. Got us in the playoffs, in the wild card at least. 2020 came, and I said, I'm so excited. Like, Carson Wentz looked so good at the end of 2019. He's ready to put his name back into the league. And obviously, I have this conspiracy theory that the Eagles made him gain 30 pounds, and they totally put him in a Nick Foles RPO system. I mean, that's not his strength. They didn't use Carson Wentz to his strength. So Carson Wentz followed what they wanted him to do, and then he got mad because he wasn't being successful. But he wasn't playing well either. So, it's hand in hand. So we got a second-round conditional for Wentz. Perfect. And a 4th round, whatever it was. Fair compensation. Fair. So, it's what it is. Shane Butler said, how about them Eagles beat Dallas? I hope. I hope so. I'd be really happy. I'm really behind in the chat, guys. I'm very sorry. He says if he gets benched, may as well retire. Made enough to never have to play another down again. He probably would be able to run a successful barbecue restaurant in North Dakota. Yeah, I mean, you could probably do that. Jason Giancarlo says, imagine if we got pressure on QBs, how much better our corners will look. And I think our corners have been pretty impressive so far. If they could shut down Amari and CD, that would be great. They're not going to shut down Amari and CD if we have no pass rush. They will hold up, but you're not going to hold up the whole entire game. You're not. They're going to get their passes. It's going to happen. They are going to get their passes. It's going to happen. So, I mean, we'll see, but you need a pass rush on Dak Prescott. You need it. If you don't get a pass rush, it's going to be a long day, okay? And if Slay gives up some yards, Steven Nelson gives up some yards, it's at the end of the day, it's not gonna it's not going to be entirely their fault. Like if you have no pass rush the whole game, like if you get a pass rush, yeah, you cause turnovers, sacks, fumbles. I mean, they could cause a lot with these corners we have. We were excited about having Steven Nelson with Darius Slay because now you have two capable cornerbacks. It's not Jalen Mills. It's not Ronald Darby. It's totally different. It's totally different. You have two guys that are capable. You have two veteran cornerbacks. They're veterans that have been successful in this league. So, Commissar said Hargrave and Ridgeway have looked the best. I agree with it. Richie says Daniel Jones could go to another team and become the next Ryan Tannehill. Big D. Kellen Moore calling the plays was a very smart decision on their part. No, they've kept Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore has done really well. I mean, he was looking for coaching jobs last year, and when we were looking for coaches, I think he interviewed with us. He did interview with us last year, or this past offseason, whatever. So, Matt says, feel like tomorrow night is going to tell us a lot about this team. I think you're right. Matt says at least he didn't pull a Wentz and say I got to do better. Rat says Dolphins and Colts lost. Good, that means higher picks. Yeah, like that's great. I thought Miami was going to win today. It was close. I thought they were going to win today, but they lost in overtime, which was great. So, yeah, it's just higher picks at the end of the day. Who cares? It's whatever. I think the Colts are still going to lose, and I think the Dolphins are not going to have a good season this year. I think we're good. I think we got first round picks out of the right two teams this year, which makes us look really a lot better. So we'll see. Rich MC, if you think about benching Jalen Hurts, the following QB should also be benched in Wilson, Lawrence, Ryan. Big D says it's amazing how bad Lawrence is right now. Willie Vass says, bro, I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, and our whole defense is back except D-Law. The whole entire defense is back? Yeah, I'm talking about your defensive line, bro. Your defensive line isn't fully back for this game. You got your corners and Anthony Brown and Diggs. You got your linebackers. You have one of the best linebacking cores in the league. You have safeties, which don't play really well. You've got a defensive line that's took a big hit. You have Micah Parsons that's probably going to be lining up all over the place. But you got no defensive line. It doesn't mean you're necessarily going to win the game. If you can't get pressure on the Eagles, it's a totally different story. You know what I mean? Jason says, last week they were not calling any design runs for Jalen until the end of the game, which I think was a problem. Against Atlanta, they could come out with some plays for Hurts. Rat says, well, Keanu Neal. Yeah, Keanu Neal is out. I mean, does he even play that much? I don't even know. That's the big D isn't getting his welcome in the NFL this year. Commissars, Minshew could be good trade capital if Hurts is the answer. Minshew doesn't deserve to be a backup forever when he could be a good starting QB. I mean, that's a whole another thing that could happen. I mean, Minshew could probably be a could be a nice trade chip for a team that needs a quarterback badly and it can't afford to go in the draft with what they need, depending if they don't have if you can't compete with a team that has more draft capital that can move up easily, then there might be teams out there that might give the Eagles a call and say, hey, Gardner Minshew, let's see. They get like a mid-draft pick or something like that. If there's a needy team that needs a draft pick badly, then yeah, sure. I mean, the Eagles are not taking a 6th or 7th. Like, if there's a team that's really desperate, the Eagles are going to have control over that trade. So, definitely could happen, though. Big Moose said they got a double or ragged over CD. CD, he's there, number one. Yeah, no, they have to. I mean, look, if there's no passes, look, CD's not going to be quiet the whole game. Like, if they shut him down, I'd be surprised. He's going to get his catches. It's going to happen. Amari Cooper is a whole nother different story because he has bruised ribs right now. So I need to kind of see how if he looks 100%, does he look like he's playing at 80%, 75%? I don't know what he's doing as of right now. So, Rat said, I disagree, Joe. I want an elite defense. Philadelphia. Yeah, dude. Like you get an offensive lineman with the third rounder. I mean, yeah, draft 2 defensive guys the first 2 picks. I mean, I don't know if they're going to draft 3 defensive guys the first 3 picks. I believe they'll go defense the first 2 picks. I think they will. I mean, you go corner, safety, corner. I mean, something. I think they have to get a corner regardless of anything. Now, it really depends if Steven Nelson's here after this year. I don't know if he's going to be here. Darius Slay's last year of his contract is next year, throughout 2022. So you're back to square one of having no cornerbacks in the next after a couple of years. You know what I mean? In 2 years. So you got to go draft the number 1 corner out of this draft next year, depending on where we're at and depending where these other draft picks are at. You got to draft the number 1 corner. You know what I mean? So I think the first two picks, you can go. I think they have to go after another defensive end. They need an edge rusher. They need corner, edge rusher, safety, linebacker. I mean, that's pretty much how it goes. I mean, you're losing Derek Barnett after this year. Brandon Graham, if they don't bring him back on a cheap deal, veteran minimum. So you got to go after. You got to see what happens here. Anthony Harris is going at safety. Rodney McLeod is going at safety. So whether they bring one of those two guys back, I don't know. This team has to get younger at safety. This team has to get younger at cornerback. That's definite. That's definite. You want to have a young guy at corner. This way you have him for 4 years. You don't got to worry about it, and he's got a ton of talent. They need the number one corner in this draft next year. I mean, that's just me, though. So, Willie Vaz says, yeah, Neal is out, but that's it. Nate says, hey, Joey, what's up? I got us winning tomorrow 31-23. Close game. We'll see what happens. Scoring 30 points, I don't know about that, but we'll see. Matt says, I just had a funny thought. What if we give him the Colts? Wentz will want out. Kyle Star says, draft the left tackle. We have Mulata. I think we need to focus on defense in the first 2 rounds if we don't need a quarterback. Like I just said before. You could draft the lineman in the third round. I didn't say the first pick or the second pick. I said they need to draft a linebacker. They need to draft a lineman next year, in next year's draft. Third round pick. First 2 picks, you go defense. That's what I think. Kevin Wallace says, I feel like Landon Dickerson didn't do that bad in his first game, but he could have done better. It's his first game back. It's his first NFL game. I didn't expect him to play well. That's why I was kind of shocked. There was somebody next to me that said, oh, Dickerson's it. I'm like, what? Like, why? Why isn't Herbig playing? He's not hurt, is he? I don't think he was. You know? Crazy, bro. Matt says, Kevin, I mean, when you think of it, he was just thrown into the fire. Brad says we should trade and be sellers at the trade deadline. Trade Ertz or Buffalo or the Rams. I think that's a perfect idea. I think they should, if by week 9 of the season, if the Eagles can't, like if we know that we're not going anywhere, I don't know. It's going to be tough. We need to see the division. We got to see, I think it's going to be pretty even by that time with all these teams. Unless Dallas, separates from the pack, which I don't think they're going to, but we never know. And obviously it depends on injuries, what the teams look like. You know what I mean? It just depends. I think you could make a move or you could be sellers. And I think you're right. I think the Eagles would be more to be sellers at the deadline, definitely. Add another draft pick for next year. Obviously, this is the trade deadline. By the closer it gets to the trade deadline, the higher the draft pick teams are going to be giving for players. You're supposed to fleece teams at the trade deadline. That's what you're supposed to do. You give up more than what you should be offering. That's the whole point of the trade deadline. If you need a certain position, if some, you know what I mean? So it really depends at the end of the day. Matt, I honestly don't think Wentz cares about his career, not going to lie. Kivai says QB Stafford doesn't seem like an average. He has a good team. No, I think he's got a really good team around him. That's what makes a big difference. I've never really was a big fan of Matthew Stafford. I know Matthew Stafford has the talent. I think I already knew from that Lions-Rams trade that obviously the Rams had the better of the trade. They gave up 2 first round, whatever it was, the 2 first rounders in the second they gave up for Stafford. They won that trade. I'm not just saying that now. I think Stafford's better than Goff by a landslide. And I obviously know he has more experience, but I can't even say that because Goff has already been to a Super Bowl and didn't play well. So I think Stafford's great. I think they got in the right weapons. I think their defense is elite. Really good defense, great pass rush. Corners their scheme is just fantastic. So I think they're doing really good. Good for Stafford, you know what I mean? He's in a good place right now, and to be successful is something, is obviously having a young squad around him too, and having some savvy vets as well is good. Nice little mix. Comments that imagine if the Colts trade for Foles or Hurts, that would be hilarious. Yeah, obviously I don't think they would do that, but. Eagles fan 220 says Wentz was a statue out there. Colts would have been better off keeping Brissett. Definite. You know what? I think the problem is you're taking on a big contract with Carson Wentz as of right now. You know what I mean? So you're taking on that big contract. And at the same time, the Eagles are eating up the rest of the contract this year. But Brissett was a good QB. I think he's a solid starter. I think you just need to build around him a little bit more because I don't think he can do everything on his own. But I like Brissett a lot. I do. Carson looked good this offseason. He looked like he ran a little. He looked like he lost weight. He looked like he was a lot more thinner. He looked like he was running a little faster. He looked like old Carson Wentz a little bit. But obviously it was a wait and see approach with it because not even before the season starts, he injured himself. The foot popped, whatever, the bone in his foot popped, whatever. And then really from there, he's been injured almost every game, and he's still playing. And he's still, I mean, to have a long career and to just forcing yourself to come back from early injury, it's not good. Vetter says, I think our linebackers are going to have problems with Zeke and Pollard. Yeah, maybe. I'm like more afraid of Pollard than I am Zeke. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's a huge test, guys. Like, we kept 7 linebackers this year for a reason because they want to find out who are the top linebackers for this defense this year. Who are you going to keep? Who are you going to get rid of? Who's worth it? You know, Eric Wilson, I don't think he's been solid, but I don't think he's been anything crazy. I think TJ Edwards has played okay. Singleton has probably been the best out of the bunch as of right now. And I don't know. This team needs to invest in this team has to seriously invest in a good linebacker that's going to be here for years. Like, they really do, because middle of the field, we get tricked on all the time. We had Nate Gary here. We've had a lot of bad things happen with this position. Has not gotten better over time. It hasn't. I think we've gotten the most production out of that position this offseason, which I was happy about. But Gannon's still learning what these linebackers can do. They have a big test this week. That's definite. So putting these running backs in the passing game for the Dallas Cowboys, yeah, it's going to be kind of nuts. Rad says, if Wentz doesn't get another NFL, his wife will divorce him. Mark my words. I don't know. I mean, we'll see, though, right? We'll see. Willie Vassar says, we are done. We will see tomorrow night. Go Cowboys. All right, bro. Good luck tomorrow night. Good luck. Eagles fan 220. I'm more worried about our offense than D, which has been solid. Of course I'm worried about our offense more than our defense. Oh, yeah, by a landslide I am. Yeah, of course. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, that was me before the season started. I was like, yeah, I'm worried about this offense more than this defense. Like, this defense is a little bit more capable than, what we have, but what we had in past, couple seasons. But offense it's a new face at quarterback, and obviously a lot of young receivers, and you have 2 first-round pick receivers on your team, and a head coach that's brand new to everything that's going on as a head coach. You know what I mean? A rookie head coach. So I think Nick Sirianni will play a better game tomorrow night, and tomorrow night is going to show us what this team is all about. I think so, because if they get this win, I'll feel a lot better going into these hard games that we could potentially lose. Okay, I'll feel a lot better. But, I take 2017 into account because the first 2 games we didn't play well at all. And then the third game pretty much changed the whole season. I'm not saying that's going to turn something like that, but, you could take it as an example of, like, things look really bad and then all of a sudden it could turn around. So I'm hoping it turns around. I want to see the receivers. I want to see receivers over 100 yards, someone over 100 yards receiving. I want to see a star out there Monday night because it's going to be a big rant on Monday if we lose. It's going to be bad. I mean, Monday night. I mean, it's going to be nuts. You know what I mean? Key Vice is the best rivals in NFL history. Eagles, Cowgirls. I don't care what everyone says. Even Eagles, Giants, too, because I'm from New York, so I hate the Giants more. But Spirit Advantage says Dolphins and Colts lost, and the Giants and Washington lost. If we get a win tomorrow, it'll be a perfect week. Yeah, 100%. Like I said earlier in the stream, perfect week for the Eagles. We've everything has gone our way this week. We just have to take care of our own business, guys. I mean, at the end of the day, we have to take care of our own business. So, Eagles fan 220 said they need to utilize a lot more Sanders in game well tomorrow. Well, you have to give Miles Sanders more carries. That's number one. Like, you have to give him over 15 carries. I mean, it's not enough. You know what I mean? It's not enough. If you have like 20 carries for Miles Sanders, I'll feel happy about that and kind of split with, Gainwell a little bit after that. I'm fine with it. But it's just not enough. Right, said 49ers are now within 3 points. They're coming back. The Russian spots the Giants fans getting ready for Spencer Rattler. Spencer Rattler is going to be the only quarterback I'd get in this draft next year. 100%. He's the only quarterback I would get. It's not a good quarterback class, but I think when it comes to what he could do and his ceiling in the NFL, what he could potentially be. Spencer Rattler is really the only QB it'd be worth getting. So Benjamin Williams says 21-17 Eagles. Awesome. Eagles fans, I benched Herbert for Jalen fantasy, so I need a big game. I used to play fantasy. I don't anymore, fortunately. Sean says, anyone that has had surgery knows that even after you cleared, you are far from 100%. Yeah, and I've had surgery before. I've had surgeries. I mean, it's happened to me. And I say to myself, how do these players have surgeries, or how they have these little things that happen and they come back real quick from injury? It just depends what it is. So it just depends what it is. Unfortunately, Carson, it's not even just Carson, but it's just players in the league. When you can't rush it. You have a career. You have a family. You have a career. You don't want to injure yourself more. And it's really your health that you have to worry about first. But with that guy, it's I feel like he doesn't even care about that. Eagles fans just joined that Ertz, Barnett, and Cox need to go this year. Or Ertz is walking, Barnett is most likely walking, and Cox is. We're going to be sellers in free agency this year. We're going to be sellers during free agency period, where when teams are going to be trading. We're going to be trading this year, guys. I see Brandon Brooks getting traded. As of right now, I see Fletcher Cox getting traded next year. 100%. Really, the only free agent I would go after next year that would cost a little bit of money. I just lost his name in my head. If I would literally get an edge rusher in. Wow, I just forgot his name. I just had his name in my head, and I just lost it. The defensive end from the Cardinals. I forgot his name, though. I think he's 30 years old. That's unfortunate, but he's very good. That's the only free agent I'd go after. There's a few guys I'd go after next year. I've looked at the list a little bit. I don't want to go after a corner in free agency. I don't want to do any of that. If you need something on the side that's going to help you for 2-3 years, and they're going to get good production, that's fine. Chandler Jones. Thank you, Vic. Shout out to Victory. Chandler Jones. Yeah. I like Chandler Jones a lot. I think he's 30 years old. I think he's pretty old right now. Guy plays like he's 26 right now. I like Chandler Jones a lot. That's just me, though. Comment stars, I think if you could get a project like Mulata in the 4th or 5th round, as Stalin can mold into an elite lineman. Our best offensive lineman came in the later rounds. Yeah, that's definite. But at the same time, is how long is Jeff Stalin going to be here? That's what I fear as well. If Jeff Stalin isn't here, I feel like we're done. I don't know if you could replace a guy like that. That's a big thing. I would go to Jeff Stalin and say, we're going to give you a massive contract to stay here for the next 4 years. At least for the next 4 years, try to win a championship within the next 4 years and really mold this offensive line into something special. Obviously, we have to draft and we have to do the right things. Eagles are going to have some money next year. That's going to be something. The Eagles are actually going to have some cap space. That's going to be, hopefully. I think the owner set the cap at $208 million. So the Eagles should have 28 to 35 in cap space next year. Obviously, as of right now, they should have 28 to 35, and that's without Mulata's extension. And obviously, they freed up the $11 million. Obviously, Goddard might get an extension. So it just depends. You know what I mean? Berg says, if we feel we got special defense from what I've seen so far this season when we aren't even blitzing yet, and this is the first time I've got confidence in the secondary in a long time. Yeah, I know. It's right when we want our corners to play well, and they do play well now, and now we don't have a pass rush. Now we've always had the pass rush, bad corners. Now we have corners playing good, pass rush isn't there. It's just annoying. I understand your pain, bro. It's annoying. It's this team just can't get it together. So defensive line is deep. They're just I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Look at Aaron Donald today. Still getting pressure. Still doing this, doing that. Always in the backfield. Darren Donald's playing fantastic. And Fletcher Cox disappears. I don't know what Fletcher Cox does in the offseason. Does he work is he being lazy? Is he not is he not working his tail off? What is it? What's going on with Fletcher Cox? I don't get it. It makes no sense to me. It just doesn't. I don't get it. Aaron Donald, still a beast every single game. Even I just watched him. Donald is just getting pressure nonstop. There's a couple plays where he doesn't get pressure. There's most consistently, he gets a lot of pressure. And I'm just sitting there like, what is Fletcher Cox doing as of right now? Like, are you going to do something this year? I'm waiting. Because, there are fans that get too emotional over these players. And I'm tired of it. I'm just tired of it. Like, it's like, oh, he's getting double teamed, blah, 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 blah. Like, I see Aaron Donald get double teamed plenty of times and still get pressure. Necessarily doesn't have to make the tackle or get a sack, but at least do something. I mean, come on now. As says Jernard Avery, I miss Nate Gary. Stop. Commissar Brissett. Brissett, too conservative to be quartered. His deep throws are very shaky, but he's a top 3 quarter backup for sure. And I would say Foles and Minshew in front of him. Kevin Wallace says, I swear we never blitzed, and the Eagles were known for blitzing. I miss the Jim Johnson days, bro. Like, I miss those days. It's just a nasty defense. I miss it. When Joe Banner was the GM to the Eagles, the guy never kept a player over 30 years old. He never kept old players, an old aging roster. That guy drafted well. He drafted 14 players in 18 years, 14 Pro Bowlers in 18 years. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just crazy. It's nuts. Commissar, I say let's see Jacoby Stevens has, and we should bring him up. I think Jacoby Stevens is going to be a project for next year. I think it's going to be more of a next year thing for Jacoby Stevens. I know he's at the hybrid linebacker / safety. See if he could be that, see if he could be like the Malcolm Jenkins piece for this defense next year. I don't know if that's the case. Burke says you miss Nate Gary. Bo Bruce, Hurts has to play lights out. He does. And the coach has to call the plays as well. The coach has to do a good job at scheming against his team well. I hope he did. I hope he has a good game plan for tomorrow. Asher positives, Nate Gary was the GOAT. Eagles of Van says Brissett looks better in almost half the QB starting in the league. We got 100 people in the chat, guys. Appreciate you being here. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. We do cover the Eagles every single day. Check out some of the content. Like the stream before you leave. It does help the channel a lot. We're going to be streaming the Cowboys game tomorrow night. We will be streaming, so come if you want to come for a minute, 2 seconds, whatever it is. We're gonna be streaming the whole entire game. We're just gonna hang out, doing a live play-by-play reaction. And then we're going to be doing the Philly Shakedown with Philly 500 on his channel right after that. So should be interesting. Should be interesting. And I hope it ends on a good note tomorrow night. That's what I'm hoping. Eagle Slayer says, I think someone's getting a pick tomorrow night. I hope so. Like, we've dropped almost 3-4 picks already. Easy picks already. I mean, not all of them were easy, but I would say 2 of them were pretty easy. I think one was easy from last game. Burke says Gary was okay, but we don't miss him by any means. I don't think Gary was okay at all, period. Bull Bruce says Miles dances too much. I agree. DJ says that Miles Sanders needs to run more physical. And run more physical and stop dancing. Well, here's the thing with Miles Sanders. Depends like what type of running back you're coming to in the league. You know what I mean? Like, when you make guys miss, it's a good thing because then you're more likely to have running back careers do not last long. They don't. You look at, there's a lot of running backs that have switched teams that aren't stars anymore. Like those running backs in the league do not last career-wise. You make guys like I don't mind Miles Sanders dancing a little bit and doing that, but if there's a wide open hole and he's just going to still dance, it's a totally different story. You know what I mean? Well, I just read something. All I care about is bring the title back to the NFC East. We need to do something like this. I think, Willie, me and you can agree that the NFC East is a total joke right now. Like it looks bad. I mean, I think Cowboys offensively. I think Dak Prescott. I think Cowboys have the best offense so far as of right now. I think the Cowboys have the best quarterback as of right now, as of how he's been playing the past few weeks. Okay, Dak Prescott didn't play that fantastic during even the Chargers game, but I think Dallas has looked good from the quarterback standpoint to the play calling standpoint to the offensive standpoint of how the offense is run so far as of right now. Okay, beyond all 3 of these other NFC East teams, and that's what I think. Sean says Malik Willis is going to be very good NFL QB. Kevin Wallace says, I swear we never blitzed, but we never known for that. When I saw the defense last game, I still thought we had same defensive coach. Yeah, and you're lining your cornerbacks on a 3rd and short. You're lining your quarterbacks like, 6 yards? Like, they're still lining their cornerbacks like 5-6 yards off. Like, I don't get it. You're giving these guys so much room. Like, I just don't get it. Like, are they doing cover 3? Are they trying to keep everything underneath? But you guys got to start playing. Like, when you're, it depends how down you are in a game. Like, if you're down a couple touchdowns, you got to start playing a little bit of man. You got to start moving a little bit closer or start playing a little bit of press because you need to start getting turnovers. Like, you need the ball. Like, all you're doing is wasting more time. You're giving them way too many yards when you push these corners back like 6 yards. I don't get it. Vic says the rival weeks been disappointing. Most of it seems fake. Eagle Slayer says, I think Gainwell will have a big game as well. I hope so. Comet says, I'm not even that big a fan of Rattler. He has a lot of issues. I would say the only guy is De'Aaron King because you could turn him into a Lamar 2.0. Yeah, everyone said Chandler Jones. Appreciate it, guys. Jason Giancarlo says Jordan Hicks has been playing solid since leaving Philly. Yeah, he has. Deshaun Jackson is healthy. I mean, I knew that was going to happen, guys. Like, I knew, like, I'm like, oh, Deshaun Jackson signed with the Rams. I'm like, watch, he's going to be healthy the whole year. He's going to be healthy the whole season. I don't get it. I just don't get it. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Eagle Sarah says Jones could be in the MVP conversation if he plays like he did in week 1 every week. Well, that's every week. That's not going to happen, bro. No, we know that. You know what I mean? Victor Parker says, who do you think we're going to target before trade deadline? I don't think we're going to be buying. I don't think so. Like, I think we're going to be selling. Like Rad said earlier in the chat, I think we're going to be sellers by that time. I don't think we're going to be looking to acquire anybody. I really don't think so. I think the Eagles will ponder some stuff. Definitely. There's no doubt in my mind. Like, obviously, the Eagles are going to say, hey, we want this player. What do you want? And then they're going to be like, okay, never mind. Hang up the phone. That's it. That's all. It's going to go just like that. I don't think they're going to be buyers. I think they'll be like, let's see who we can, if it depends how our season is going by week 9 of the season, which is the trade deadline. So we'll see. Comment says, you'll probably disagree, but I think we should re-sign Steven Nelson because it's hard to get solid corners in the league and he can play for another 4 years. I don't mind it. You know what I mean? Like, I think if Slay is leaving after 2022, you sign Nelson to like a 3-4 year deal, and then you go out and get a number 1 corner to pair up with Steven Nelson. Okay, I'm good with that. I'm fine with that. But at the same time, I still want to get a corner in this draft. You know what I mean? I still want to get a corner. So if you draft a top corner, he's got to start. If you sign Steven Nelson, if this was the last year of Darius Slay's contract this year in 21, I'd be fine with it. But the problem is that if you keep Steven Nelson, then you draft the corner, the best corner in the draft, he's not going to get any playing time unless you play nickel and outside. I don't know. It just depends. If this was the last year of Slay's contract in 21 this year, yeah, it makes more sense, but it's not. You sign Steven Nelson to a multi-year deal, whatever it is. I mean, I don't know. I want to go after number 1 corner next year. I mean, that's just me. That's first on my list. That's first on my list for next year. I mean, that's definite. Rat said, what if Deshaun Watson clears all his allegations? Well, if that's the case, if he clears all his allegations, then yeah, he's available. But now, since the Eagles were trying to pry him away from the Texans, and obviously all the teams have to do their due diligence because they have to know what's going on with this case and what's going on. You know what I mean? And he would have been cheaper to acquire because of all the stuff that he's going through right now. Plus, he's not even playing. But next year, he's going to be more expensive because once all the allegations are done, whatever stops happening, whatever stuff that he's going through, it stops happening, then he's going to be expensive again. He hasn't played in a year, and that's going to be a totally different thing, which isn't a big deal. He's young. He's got a lot of talent. I like Deshaun Watson a lot. Already kind of mentioned he doesn't want to come to Philly with the trade clause and all that stuff going on. So I don't know. He might be demanding where he wants to go. Could be Denver. Could be, I don't know. I mean, it depends. You could see you could see Washington go after a quarterback. It could be, you could see him go there. I mean, it just depends. Vic said the Eagles will not be going after any free agency that really need to save money if they have a quarterback, if Jalen Hurts, and if they like to resign Miles Sanders. Yeah, signing Miles Sanders is going to be a different story after next year. Obviously, like next year's his last year, I think. That's really depends how much they. I know they love Miles Sanders, but it just depends if I don't like paying running backs. That's just me. I can't stand paying running backs. I don't mind having an all-purpose back, but you put too much into an all-purpose back. Like when you see talents like Saquon Barkley that really hasn't been playing well because he's been injured, and obviously, I think that offensive line never been built the right way for him to run behind that line. So, I mean, you have those generational talents that are in the draft, but at the same time, if Kenneth Gainwell, I think Kenneth Gainwell could play really well. Is Kenneth Gainwell Miles Sanders? Definitely not, but I think he's a dual-threat back that you'll line him up anywhere and be successful. So, I don't know, and add like a Kenneth Gainwell with another bruiser back behind him would be fantastic. But is Miles Sanders going to get a big contract? I have no idea. The Eagles need to free up cap space. Trade Fletcher Cox. Trade Brandon Brooks. You're going to have to get cap space. You're going to have to get some draft picks, get some cap space back for all these trades. They could be trading a couple veterans next year, definitely. I think we'll have more draft picks for the future as well, not even just for this year. They might trade some draft picks, obviously get more draft picks for the future. If they end up getting the 3 first-round picks, guys, I think they could. You're not using 3 first-round picks in one season. It's not happening. You could use 2. They'll use 2 of them, whether they trade for a player or they move up in the draft or whatever they want to do. It is what it is. You get 2 players in the draft, or you go and take a couple first-rounders and move up a lot in the draft. That's up to you. If you have 3 first-round picks, you take that 3rd first-round pick, and I would just trade it to a team. I would just give it to a team for them to give us their first-round pick for another year. I would get more picks for the future on top of that if you have 3 first-rounders. I would trade one of those picks to a team that wants to move up in the draft. That's what I would do. It makes more sense. Why not have another first-round pick for next year? You know what I mean? There's no you should be able to do that. So Vic said Fletcher Cox isn't this period space eater. That's why he's the second most in double teams. I don't even care anymore. I don't even care anymore. I don't care how much space he's eating with 2. It doesn't matter. Like, I look at the top defensive tackles in the league right now. I think with Fletcher Cox right now at this moment, okay, is that what we're going to say about Fletcher? So if Fletcher Cox just takes up space, he gets no tackles and he has 1 to 2 tackles in games, and that's fine. That's what he's supposed to do. That's all he's supposed to do. I think he has to do more than just take up double teams and take up space. I mean, that's just me. I think that's going too far, but that's just me, though. Nate says, sucks we probably haven't seen the last of Brandon Graham. I don't know if we've seen the last of Brandon Graham. He's coming back next year on a cheap deal, if that's the case, like a veteran minimum. Like, that's all I'm paying him next year. And if not, he's probably going to retire. He's not going to any other team, obviously. So, Commissar Donald's getting triple blocked and looks like he still gets through. That's what I'm saying. That's why the double team excuse for Fletcher Cox is a bunch of BS. It's a bunch of BS. Like, I hate people that say that. I really hate people that say that. I think it's just it's such an excuse. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what Fletcher Cox does in the offseason. I don't know. Does he look like how he used to look this year? No, he hasn't. Yeah, we're going to our 3rd game, and people are like, "Oh, give it a few more games. Give it, it is what it is. Give it a couple more games." I'll give it a couple more games, but I'm telling you, like I asked for apologies. 2 games. Give it 2 games. All right, I'll give it 2 games. I'm telling you right now, like, I better see something out of him. I better see him get in the back. I don't care about the sacks. I don't care about it. I just want to see him disrupt the backfield. That's all I care about. That's it. I think Fletcher Cox is better against the run than he is. I think he's better against the run, which he hasn't showed this year, but I still think he's better against the run than he is against the pass. Aaron Donald and Fletcher Cox are 2 different defensive tackles. I think Aaron Donald is better, definitely better against the pass. His pass is fantastic. Okay, rattles quarterbacks very easily. Did it today. I mean, did it today easily. He's done it the past 3 weeks, the 2 other weeks that we just had. So, Constar. Vic says Fletcher Cox taking away an extra defender that could penetrate in the line. What are you not understanding? Well, I'm not understanding is that if he's taking up another defender, then who else is besides Javon Hargrave that's only played 1 good game and had 1 good quarter? That's what I'm saying. Who else? What happened if he's doing that? Why isn't Javon Hargrave doing a lot more? Why isn't Javon Hargrave doing a lot more the rest of the game? 49ers, he only did one. He had one good quarter. That was it. That's what I'm saying. If it's happening all the time, if that's happening all the time, then why isn't Javon Hargrave being more successful after one quarter? That's what I'm saying. Barack Obama said, weird how he makes Pro Bowl every season. Britt says, how do you think Jalen will do tomorrow? I hope Jalen is on point. I hope Jalen is more accurate, goes through his reads, doesn't run too early, and Nick puts him in a good situation to be successful. That's really is. Get these, throw in stride, get the receivers the ball. It just depends. Raj Samarine says, Joey, remember before the season started, I told you 4 games maximum. We still feel the same way. I drive from Pearland to the game tomorrow, but I'm not expecting a victory. And it is what it is. Like, it's only been 2 games right now. We're playing our 3rd game tomorrow, and hopefully this team looks different in a couple weeks. I hope they do. I agree with you about Cox. BG was getting doubled more. What did Cox do? I don't know. Because now without BG in the game, now I'm going to see how they're going to attack. If I'm going to see, obviously, now for tomorrow, I mean, Hargrave has looked better, obviously, but at the same time, if Cox gets double, it depends who they want to double. Who are they going to be more successful against? So, Victor Parker said, who do we target trade deadline? Victory says, and that's why Donovan McNabb never had any support because he never kept a player over 30. I've never had an experienced receiver until Owens. I believe that. I believe that. I lost my space. Vic said, Jacoby Stevens not a project. He's going to have earn his way like everyone else. Well, that's what I'm saying. He's a project, meaning like, yeah, he's not there yet. He's either going to be there or he's not going to be there. He's either going to show up or he's not going to show up. That's what I mean by saying he's a project, meaning like I'm not saying a project as in he's going to be a Pro Bowl player in a couple of years. I'm saying he's a project as in like, it's either going to work or it's not going to work. I don't know what's going to happen with Jacoby Stevens at all. Victor says Roddy McLeod is gone next season. I believe that. Philly said you're going to look at Kyle Hamilton in the draft. He's a beast, 6'4", 2020 safety. Yeah, he's good. Linebacker safety, he's good. That's another guy you can look at. Because Anthony Harris, I don't see them resigning Anthony Harris or Roddy McLeod. And then you're totally empty. You have Marcus Epps, Blake Countess. I mean, I really don't know what else you got. Kevon Wallace, my God, I don't even know what to think about him anymore. I thought he made a good play for a fumble with 2 players putting their head down. Then obviously we got called for that penalty. It wasn't his fault. He had a really hard hit on Elijah Mitchell, but it's unfortunate though. Willie says, "Can we just get the title back in the NFC East?" And I don't care how we get it. A commentary, you should keep guys who are in their 30s because there are a lot of players who play their best of their 30s. They don't decline until years later. The whole roster should not pass 30. Yeah, no, it's only certain players that can play in their 30s. It depends on the position, too. Some guys age better. Sometimes their play ages better. At certain, like I think linebackers could play past 30. I think safeties could play past 30. Corners very rarely could play past 30. Depends who it is on a consistent level. It just depends. I think defensive tackles could play past 30. I think defensive ends could play past 30. There's a lot of positions you could play past 30. TFP23 says, my dream is one day the organization goes back to hard-nosed football, enough for the finesse and defense as well, missing that toughness. Yeah, we don't have that. We haven't had that in a while. Comment star said, I have to admit, Dak looked consistent recently, but we shall see if he can keep it up. Yeah, like I said, I think Dak's been the best quarterback in the NFC East as of right now. Yo, Weezy, what's going on, bro? Hope you're having a good day. He says Deshaun Jackson's still balling out. Yeah, he's doing a good job. And he's healthy, guys. Who's surprised that he's healthy? Because I'm not. I'm not surprised. Commissars, I hope Deshaun wins a ring. He deserves it. Yeah, I hope he does too. I think he's in a good situation right now. I think he's in a really good situation. Vic says you're not trying to resign anyone. You're going to go in the draft and getting a corner or two there. Yeah, no, I don't want to sign any free agent quarters. I'm done with that. The Steven Nelson thing was cheap, and he was late he waited till after the draft to get signed. He waited till after the draft. He was available for a while. First, the Steelers were trying to find a trade partner for Steven Nelson. Then when they didn't have any trade partners, they just released him. They saved a little bit of cap space, and that was pretty much it. So I'm not a fan of signing a free agent corner next year. You get rid of let Steven Nelson walk, command more money. You keep Darius Slay on one more year left on his contract. You go draft the best corner in the draft next year. Line him up next to Slay, learn by him, do better by him. And then, then the year after, then you can start finding another cornerback that can complement your first-round cornerback. That's what I think they should do as of right now. You know what I mean? But we'll see. JC said we got to go corner and defensive end. I agree. That's perfect. I agree. Richie MC is loser going to be biased against Howie and Eagles tomorrow. Probably everybody. Seriously, Ellie says Watson already declined coming to Philly. Yep. That's what I read. Willie Vass says, bro, it's crazy. We beat the Chargers and the Chargers beat KC. So no, I'm not scared of KC. So I think we can all, the way I think it will be Dallas and maybe the Saints are a rematch of Tampa. That could be. See how it goes down the road. You know what I mean? Com said we should get a corner in the draft, sure, but it's good to have Nelson here to pair up with a guy we get from the draft. Well, I'm saying Darius Slay is here next year. We're not releasing Darius Slay. We're not trading Darius Slay next year. It's not happening. So they're not keeping Steven Nelson. If Darius Slay is here next year, which he will be, Steven Nelson's not going to be here. If they just keep Steven Nelson, not go after a corner, I'm going to be really upset over that. Really, I'm going to be very upset over that. So, other than that, guys, I think I'm done for the night. We've been an hour and 48 minutes, almost 2 hours, almost. We're going to do some more next couple days. We're going to be streaming the game tomorrow. Eagles, Cowboys tomorrow. We will be streaming the game tomorrow, so definitely check it out. Guys. We're going to be streaming the live play-by-play of the whole entire game. And then, obviously, the Philly Shakedown right after that because it's going to be really late on Philly 500's channel. So, obviously, I'll have the post for you guys to make sure we go right there, straight there afterwards. So, other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. Subscribe to the channel. Check out some of the videos. Cover the Eagles every single day. Love all you guys. Much appreciated. And let's go beat these Cowboys up tomorrow. Let's show what we're all about tomorrow. I want to, trust me, as much as I think, there are things that make me nervous during this game, I need this team to punch Dallas in the mouth Monday night because I'm telling you right now, it would be the perfect week. Okay, it would be the perfect week. So, other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. I hope all you guys have a really good night, and obviously get ready for tomorrow. We're gonna get this thing. We're gonna get this win tomorrow. I'm hoping. All right, guys. I will see you guys later. Have a good night, guys. Remember, shake spot up, follow slide. Peace out, guys. Peace. I'm back. I'm not back. I forgot to turn it off. All right, see you guys later. Peace out, guys.